It finally seems like the end for everyone's favorite couple, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. After nearly 2 decades of an on-again, off-again relationship, it appears the Batman star is finally cutting ties with his multi-talented diva wife. But what caused this sudden trouble in paradise? What went wrong? And most importantly, who's really to blame? Grab some popcorn and settle in as we dive into the top 10 reasons why J.Lo and Ben Affleck's love story came to a scandalous end. Before we dive into what killed romance, let's start from the beginning, where it all started. You see, the romance began back in the early 2000s when Ben and J.Lo met on the set of Giggly. It was here the Bennifer magic began, and soon enough they quickly became one of the hottest couples around. The two graced red carpets together and made headlines left and right. Watching their chemistry was simply undeniable, and it wasn't long before Ben popped the question with a stunning 6.1 carat pink diamond ring. The engagement was all anyone could talk about, and fans were eagerly anticipating their wedding. But just when it seemed like the fairy tale was coming true, things took a dramatic turn. In 2003, just days before the planned wedding, the couple called it off, and suddenly, by early 2004, they had officially split, leaving fans stunned and heartbroken. For years, it seemed like Bennifer was a thing of the past as they moved on to other relationships and built separate lives, with Ben marrying Jennifer Garner and J.Lo tying the knot with Mark Anthony. Fast forward to 2021 and the Hollywood rumor mill started buzzing again. Out of nowhere, Ben and J.Lo were spotted hanging out, sparking rumors that the two might be rekindling their romance nearly 2 decades later. And like clockwork, long before those rumors were confirmed, the couple went public, making their red carpet return together at the Venice Film Festival, looking as in love as ever. This time, however, the couple went all the way. They tied the knot in a low-key, intimate ceremony in Las Vegas on July 16, 2022. But that wasn't all, as they later celebrated with a more elaborate wedding at Ben's estate in Georgia a month later, surrounded by family and close friends. The world was happy, and after nearly 2 decades of ups and downs, it really seemed like Bennifer finally got their happily ever after. That was until rumors of tension and fights between Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez began flying around just a few months later. And soon enough, people started talking about how unhappy Ben was looking. Fast forward to early 2024, and the rumors started swirling that Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez were hitting a rough patch. In fact, reports emerged suggested that Ben had even temporarily moved out of the home due to tensions. But what exactly is happening? Well, here are some of the reasons why everything came crashing down. This might just be the biggest issue on the list, as Jennifer Lopez's recent multimedia blitz promoting her new album and film with the titillating title, This Is Me Now, has everyone buzzing. But here's the juicy part. It's not just about her new music or the big screen love story. J.Lo's marketing campaign included something truly outrageous, a deep dive into her and Ben's private love lives. You heard that right. The centerpiece of her $20 million campaign was a documentary called The Greatest Love Story Never Told. And guess what? It's all about the personal scrapbook Ben gifted her, filled with letters and emails from their 20-year romance. Now, under some circumstances, this could be cute, but J.Lo flaunted this intimate love Bible to her entire production team without so much as a heads up to Ben. I mean, talk about airing your dirty laundry. Ben was livid, feeling like his private history was put on display for everyone to witness. And while J.Lo may have thought she was creating art, it seems she really does seem like she might have crossed a line. With their high-profile breakup looming and J.Lo canceling her tour, it's clear this public exposure could be the final nail in the coffin for Benjamin 2.0. But somehow this wasn't the only reason the two were splitting. At their core, their split may be all about clashing personalities, because as we all know, J.Lo is the ultimate diva and is notorious for her high-maintenance demands and extravagant lifestyle. From firing staff for mere autograph requests to insisting her entourage never make eye contact, her diva behavior is the stuff of legends. Meanwhile, Ben is a more laid-back and down-to-earth kind of guy. I mean, he's not about the flashy demands and royal treatment. And as you can imagine, his more grounded approach just might not mesh that well with J.Lo's diva flair. It's like mixing oil with water. Her over-the-top demands and his easygoing nature just don't really exactly blend that well. So, is it any surprise that their differing personalities might be causing a rift? You might be thinking, love might find a way. Well, if it did, J.Lo probably drew it a map because it's the next reason on our list. So we all know that J.Lo is the queen of divas, but what you might not know is that she's also known for her super controlling tendencies. In fact, she has a reputation for setting very rigid rules and micromanaging every detail of her life, and sadly, her partners' lives too. That in and of itself is quite terrible. But once you factor in the fact that Ben, on the other hand, has struggled with alcohol, you begin to see how their personalities might have put a strain on their relationship. It's obvious the clash between J.Lo's need for control and Ben's personal struggles is like a recipe for disaster. At this point, it's more of a wonder how they even started to live together. No wonder Ben hasn't seemed happy in public eyes in quite a while. And sure, the alcohol is an issue, but what J.Lo did next was good ground to split in our books. So get this, J.Lo, in her signature diva fashion, decided to get rid of Ben's cherished motorcycle collection while they were away. And to make it worse, she did it without telling him, deeming them unsafe. Talk about a major betrayal. And that's not all, as J.Lo's control issues are on full display and run even deeper than this. She wasn't just taking charge of his wardrobe, but also making life difficult over his smoking habit in messy ways. Apparently, Ben's jeans and t-shirts were too casual for her, and ironically, her constant nagging only drove Ben to smoke even more. A source even mentioned that the duo would argue over his clothes and habits according to the tip. He's a jeans and t-shirt kind of guy, and now Jennifer is trying to tell him what he can and can't wear. And that's not all, as she's been known to yell and point fingers, treating him like an errant child. A source even mentioned she's been known to yell at him and point her finger. It makes people wonder if she mistakes him for a dog. Besides the controlling part of their marriage, not everything is J.Lo's fault. For one, since tying the knot, the two lovebirds have been living increasingly separate lives. Ben, on his part, has been holed up working on various projects, while J.Lo has been busy on her own career pursuits, albeit questionable. As you would expect, the growing distance between them has become undeniable as Ben's work commitments keep him away, and J.Lo's career demands are pulling her in different directions as well. With barely any time to spend together, it's a no-brainer that coupled with the stress, tensions were bound to rise. After all, their once glamorous romance is now overshadowed by their chaotic schedules, and it seems the more they're apart, the more their relationship truly suffers. With how the story is going, it might be easy to think that Ben is simply a suffering, loving husband, but when J.Lo was asked about the split, she mentioned Batman's so-called erratic behavior as a key factor in their split. It turns out the charismatic actor wasn't exactly the picture-perfect husband. Some close sources mention that Affleck's behavior was nothing short of a roller coaster ride from euphoric highs to dark, brooding lows. Essentially, one moment he's the charming sweetheart we all adore, and the next, he's throwing a temper tantrum and acting out. One particular incident involved a dramatic door slam and screamed, "I've had enough." Pretty scary stuff, right? Apparently, this wasn't just a one-off thing either, as this kind of mood swing reportedly created a toxic environment with Lopez caught in the crossfire. It's no wonder when Jennifer Lopez had to file for divorce, she cited irreconcilable differences. Talk about a show-stopping breakup. But that wasn't all Ben, and it seems his old family might have strained the couple as well. Having two families is a whole lot for anyone, even if they are Batman and save the world from an alien invasion. In fact, sources are spilling the tea on how Ben Affleck's inability to blend his two families with Jennifer Lopez is causing serious friction. While the singer's daughter Em and Affleck's middle child, Serafina, get along well, an insider said that keeping everyone happy at the same time has been nearly impossible. As you can imagine, the pressures of integrating Affleck's three children, Violet, Serafina, and Samuel, with Lopez's twins, Max and Em, are creating tension. It's gotten so bad that Affleck, who's been spotted seeking advice from his ex-wife Jennifer Garner, is reportedly feeling overwhelmed. Poor guy. As if that's not enough, Lo's insistence on perfection and her high expectations are only adding fuel to the fire. Speaking of perfectionism, J.Lo, as fabulous as she is, has a track record of being less than easygoing. Her temper, quite literally, is the stuff of legends. From firing staff for being fans to making unreasonable demands, her diva behavior is well documented. And according to reports, now her diva demands and perfectionist tendencies have reportedly been pushing Ben to his breaking point. In fact, it's gotten so bad that their outings are more cold than war rooms, with their most recent lunch date looking like a scene from a law drama. From being spotted house hunting solo to Ben's visible stress over their private lives becoming public fodder, it's clear the pressure was mounting and all it needed was time. Essentially, while J.Lo might be living her best life on stage, Ben is left dealing with the fallout of their very public and very tumultuous love affair. All these things can be summed up into one huge reason. The whole marriage was simply rushed. It's a no-brainer that a pop diva with a history of flying through marriages like a high-speed train would be more interested in finding the one than in the nitty-gritty details of making it work. Experts are whispering that she's practically a pro at rushing into marriage, and what seems like her fourth divorce might be proof of that. Meanwhile, Ben, on the other hand, was no better, as he was stumbling through a rebound like a man lost in the fog of a post-breakup haze. Was he really ready for a new chapter, or was he just seeking comfort in the spotlight? It's almost as if somehow he missed every glaring red flag in their relationship manual. And not to mention, this was a rushed marriage under a lot of media pressure. As you would imagine, the media and society played a large role in Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez's divorce. That's because, from the moment they got back together, they were under an intense spotlight, with every move being scrutinized by tabloids and paparazzi. Essentially, this constant media frenzy created immense pressure on the relationship, which would further amplify even the smallest issues into full-blown scandals. Then you also have society's obsession with Bennifer fueling unrealistic expectations, turning their personal lives into public entertainment. Every disagreement or awkward moment was dissected viciously online, adding stress to an already fragile relationship. The relentless media coverage and public opinion made it nearly impossible for either one of them to navigate their issues privately, which would ultimately drive a wedge between anyone and contributing to their split. With their every move under the magnifying glass, it's no wonder the so-called fairy tale marriage came crashing down. They were too busy basking in the celebrity glow to tackle their underlying issues. Now, as Jennifer files for divorce, the question on everyone's lips is this: was Bennifer's marriage doomed from the get-go? Or did it develop from a loving fairy tale to a war tale of two cities? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're at it, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and let us know what story you want us to cover next. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our list of top 10 celebrity scandals that Hollywood tried to hide. We are sure the last one will definitely leave you speechless. Until next time, keep on shining.